Every about 10 to 15 miles, I stopped and pumped up the tire with my bicycle pump. Welcome to the Okie Woodsman channel. Today I'm going to show you the perfect automotive travel accessory that absolutely no one should be without. I'm going to be comparing two different types of unit that do the same thing but do it a little bit differently. Let's take a look at the differences. If you're familiar with the channel, you know that I'm a rigid tool user. So naturally, when I wanted a portable air pump to take with me in the vehicle, I purchased a rigid machine. These are sold for around $69 without a battery pack. Okay, that's key here. You do need a battery pack. There is also a pigtail to be able to go ahead and run it off of the 12-volt accessory plug inside the vehicle as well. I have filled many tires with this thing, but I'm going to show you something that I'm testing here that I actually think that I like a little bit more. There's some negatives and there's definitely some positives. This is the Etenwolf compressor. It does what this does and more. I've been using it a little while because I don't like to just do a review as soon as I open up the package. You can tell that this unit is slightly larger than this right here, but it is multifunctional. This guy here is real simple. Pull the trigger and you can adjust your PSI. We're going to test the performance of these two things here in a moment. This guy is unique because you've got your tire filler right here, but then you also have the ability to fill up mattresses and other inflatable things. So that's pretty cool. You use these ports here, whether you want to blow air in or remove air. This is an all-in-one type unit, so it charges off of USB-C, but it also can serve as a power supply for charging like a phone. Okay, so this is like a battery bank as well. You have other types of adapters to be able to go ahead and fill balls up, and this is to inflate other types of things. Operation is super simple. You have a start and a pause button here. What's neat about it is you have these different modes. It has car, truck, RV, ball, wind, bicycle settings, and so forth. What's neat about it is you can set a PSI for each vehicle. So for example, my trucks, I put 35 PSI in the tires. It doesn't have a trailer setting, but I'm calling the RV a trailer setting. My trailer takes 50 PSI in those tires. This can go up very high. Its max is 130 PSI. Really simple to use. Once you set your PSI and you're ready to go with it, all you do is you hit the start button and it will pump. There's also a light feature, which actually is quite practical. Oftentimes we see in all-in-one devices lights, and it's like, that's the dumbest place for a light. But this actually makes a lot of sense. Comes with a nice carrying bag. Inside that carrying bag are a few accessories. This is how you charge it. It claims to be a 45-watt charger. That's pretty significant. If this thing can charge at that rate, it ought to charge up pretty quickly. Got a different type of air chuck. Also, you can go ahead and remove air as well. Pretty cool. And a USB-C to USB-C cable. When I first unboxed this product, I did actually go ahead and run it for a long time in the house, blowing air. It seemed as if it timed out after a certain amount of time. I think it's just a setting to make sure it doesn't just run and run and run and run. But I did a time lapse of it, hardly utilized the battery, plugged it back in, battery charged right back up. I have topped off my trailer tires and my personal vehicle tires a few times with it so far. But today we're going to find out how it compares to my rigid unit in terms of filling up a tire. I'm going to remove air from the tires on the truck, the same amount of air on the same tire, and we'll go ahead and replenish the air back to 35 PSI. Let's get started on that. I'm curious to see which one's going to do it quicker. I have an idea. I'm going to see first where my PSI is on the tire. I do like this chuck on here. Actually, these were set at 39. I forgot. We do have them running at 40 right now. We're gonna call it good there. Showing 25.2. Let's go ahead and pump it up to 40 and see how long it takes. Showing 25.2. Let's go ahead and pump it up to 40 and see how long it takes. Exactly 40 on this. I don't know what the time is going to look like. That'll be in the video. So the question is, which one's right for you? Let me share my thoughts. I like the fact that this has a replaceable battery, meaning that when the battery fails, the unit is not trash. That's one very cool thing. But then there's also the fact that I'm taking a battery from my tool set and leaving it in a car all the time. I don't like that. I like that this is a very small, compact unit. On this particular unit, I'm not exactly a big fan of this chuck. It's okay, but I do like the chuck on this one. I like this brass, and it screws on, it's on, and you don't have to worry about it. I don't know which one's faster, and I'm really not sure that that really matters. As I put the Etenwolf away in the nice carrying case that it comes with, I want to talk about why you want something like this. My wife and I have a tendency to travel everywhere in a vehicle. We generally don't fly. Tell you a story. One time we were driving across country in our Subaru Forester, and it was packed. We had 2 car seats in the back of the Subaru. My wife and I were in the front. We had a Thule rooftop carrier up top. I had a bicycle rack on the back with a bike. We were going from Oklahoma to Central California, to the Monterey area, visiting some family up there. Well, on our way back home, if you've ever been on the stretch of road going through Arizona, heading east, it is a long road of nothing. Very, very few stops. On that long stretch of highway with no rest stop, no stores in sight, we get a low tire pressure warning. I go outside, I hear that the air, you can actually hear the air coming out of the tire. The back of the Subaru was filled to the top. The kids were in the middle in their big old car seats at the time. We had stuff inside on the floorboards, stuff between them, snacks and all that. And I'm thinking, great, there's a space saver in there. What am I gonna do? I didn't want to unpack the whole back of the car. Had the bicycle. I mean, it was just a nightmare. So I actually have a picture of this. I will go ahead and put in the video here. Every about 10 to 15 miles, I stopped and pumped up the tire with my bicycle pump. I had a floor pump for my bicycle. Anytime I travel with a bicycle, I take that with me. And that really saved our bacon, because We would have been trying to strap a tire on the roof somehow. I probably didn't even have any straps with me at the time. So what I'm saying is this, is when you have a low tire or when you have an emergency where your tire is starting to just lose air, it is so nice to have a pump in the vehicle. I had that rigid one. I always had it in the family vehicle. Here recently, I went on that trip up to Illinois. I took the rigid pump with me just in case I experienced some sort of trouble. Well, this Etenwolf shows up for testing, and I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I really want that. I had never heard of the brand or anything. Well, what's so funny is yesterday I just watched a video from Project Farm, and he was comparing all these different gauges for accuracy. Etenwolf was like the least expensive one on the list, and it tested phenomenally well. I will go ahead and share a link of that in the description if you're interested in seeing. They sell a lot of these units. I can't speak to its durability over time because I have had it for less than a month. I have been using it here and there. I think it's super easy to use, and I will put a link down in the description. If you found this video useful, make sure you hit that thumbs up video, subscribe, and check out the other stuff we're doing. We build, we do firewood, and we do all sorts of things. The channel is constantly growing. It's family oriented. I think you'll find it a safe place where you can watch this with anyone unless they're afraid of cutting down a tree. Anyway, we'd love to have you. I'll see you on the next one.